Got a home improvement conundrum? Time to call in the superheroes, Mac of all trades. Leaky faucet, wall that mysteriously has a hole in it. Kitchen looking like it's stuck in the 90s. Mac of all trades is here to save the day. No capes, just expert repairs, remodeling, and handyman services that get the job done right. Call them today at 585-202-9218. That's 585-202-9218. Or visit them online at macofalltrades.net, because every home needs a hero. Mac of all trades.
You got a mountain inside your chest. It's been a while, just waiting to crest. Look through the fog and clench your fists. Strike a spark, ignite the mist. Feel the earth beneath your soles. Roots run deep, you're in control. Whisper loud and let them hear. Every answer's in your mirror. Step into the light, my friend. The power's in your hands.
I don't know whether to call this the first installment of Billightment or not. We've done some other ones, but I just said to my guest, Gina, I'm going to try the last, Pietropaoli.
Oh, great.
Is it Pietropaoli that way?
Yes,
Yeah, because I think probably go Petropoli, but I don't think that's right.
Or
I think
we could go really Italian.
And what would that be? Do really Italian for me.
Pietropaoli.
Wait, say it again? That's beautiful.
Pietropaoli, but we will not do that.
Pietropaoli.
I'll settle for what you said.
Have you been back to Italy?
We just got back.
You did. Where'd you go?
We went to Sorrento. We spent a lot of time in Sorrento. We went to Rome. I mean, that's kind of the two places we went.
Do you still have family in Italy?
I do. My family is from Sicily.
Oh, from Sicily.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a cousin that I'm in contact with all the time. And
So you could have dual citizenship.
Well, I don't know, because
Why?
they have pulled that.
Who did?
Italy did.
Oh.
Italy is making it very difficult now. So all these people that have spent thousands of dollars are like really upset now.
Really?
So yeah, but
Oh,
now
that's
my
interesting.
daughter has talked about it. She studied over there last year.
Okay.
We were supposed to meet her there last year, and the timing wasn't working. And I'm so glad we waited a year. Because now my whole family got to come, and we had the best time. But my next trip will be Sicily, because I have to explore it. That's like where I feel so rooted.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many times have you been back there often?
I haven't.
You
No,
haven't?
I haven't.
Okay.
No, this was my first time there.
Yeah,
But
I
I
hear
think I'm going to be there a lot.
I hear great things about Italy. My brother studied in England, backpacked that summer through Europe, went down and got into like a whole, I think he got into a mass with the Pope in Rome. And yeah, it was just like to be in the audience. And somebody said, come back, we'll give you a ticket, and so whatever it was. But yeah, it's very interesting. I'll properly introduce you. You are a level 3 Reiki healer.
Yes.
In addition to that, you have certifications as a crystal Reiki master and teacher.
Yeah, I teach it. Yeah, I actually just wrote an ebook for it.
You did?
So yeah, for it, like an introduction to crystals, just to give a little bit of a background and the basics, because I have run into so many people that say, I love crystals so much, and they buy them, but they don't know what to do with them. They don't know how do I use them? How do I incorporate them into my daily life? And so I just wrote it. It's very simple. It's like 18 pages. And you can keep it as a file on your computer. I printed it out, and it's beautiful.
Where do you get it?
I printed it out at Staples.
No, but if I wanted to, can someone buy it?
Yeah, it's on my website. It's like on the first thing. I have a link for it.
What's the website for people to find?
www.mbsreikiwellness.com.
Okay, mbsreikiwellness.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can find that there. Then are you also training to be, already are quantum Reiki?
Okay, so I did like a level 1.
Okay.
And I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use that a lot for like physical illness. That's where I'm more drawn to using it.
Yeah.
So I'm still like trying to figure out where I'm going next. I've been kind of in thought, like I need more.
You need more.
I need more. I need to go even deeper. Like, I just call it energy healing. I call it.
It is energy healing.
It's so hard. Like, I feel like I'm in a box with the term Reiki because I do so much more than.
Okay, I'm really glad you're saying that because
No, once you start, like if you're really doing this, you're outside of that Reiki box. Like that scratches the surface for me.
My experience with Reiki is my mom, and my mom did do Reiki on me, and I for whatever reason, like she said to me, boy, your head isn't as busy as I thought. And I go, no, I got a little, maybe I'm dumb. I got an empty head. But I meditate a lot and I can kind of keep things.
Yeah.
But when she was doing it, I started to think there's some trauma in my life as a child. And I started to think mom's taking all the bad stuff away. Gina, I started crying. Gina, I started crying. I couldn't stop. I went for 15 minutes. My mother finished up. I was going to drive back to Rochester. She lives in Rhinebeck, New York, down by, what's the place down there? There's, I'm going to forget it. I used to drive by it all the time, and it's where a lot of healing things go on.
Lilydale?
No, it's not Lilydale. And I'll think of it. And then I had to sit. She had me just sit. I wasn't even boo-hooing. It was just tears.
Sobbing.
It wasn't even, it was just flowing out of me. It wouldn't stop. It just wouldn't stop. Like,
you know how many people say that on my table?
I have no idea.
They're sobbing. They're like, I don't even know why I'm crying. It's a release.
It's unbelievable.
It's a release.
So I guess my first question to you with Reiki, I guess we should find out more what was your path to Reiki yourself. Because a lot of people, I think most of us, if you came from a rooted Italian family and I came from a very rooted Irish family, there's one thing in common: the Catholic Church, right? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, and not that this is anything against that, because I don't think so. I think it's something that should be in conjunction with.
Yes.
But I think you would be looked at, forgive my language, but like a witch in a way, and that's not true. At all. I don't believe that in my soul at all. But what was your introduction to that, and how has that path been for you with family?
I don't even know how to answer the question.
Okay.
How was the path? I have always, even as a kid, I have always had encounters with spirit.
Okay. What does that mean when you say encounters with spirit?
Things happen. I knew as a young kid,
because
I was always attracted to things, like to read and understand and know about it. I'll give you an example. I might have been in 3rd or 4th grade, and I was down in my basement. I live in a very old house, the house I grew up in, very old, and we had a chalkboard down there. I used to go down and play school, and there was one evening I was down there, and I'm writing on the chalkboard, and all of a sudden, right in front of me. Now, this is, like, nobody can sit here and tell me, oh, it's your imagination. It was so clear cut.
Yeah.
A face of a man hanging upside down came right in front of me. Scared me. Like, I literally dropped everything, and I ran upstairs. Okay, I would see things. I could sense things. I used to hear when I was, like, in the middle of the night, I would hear almost like a party going on down in my kitchen. And I wasn't asleep because there was a couple times that I got up out of bed to see if my parents were down there. But it sounded like a party was happening.
Yeah.
And I heard...
Happy.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I heard chairs moving. And it would be like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then, because right outside of my bedroom, my parents were right now. And I'm like, my dad are in bed. And I was young. I used to have all kinds of things, and
Did you ever express this to your parents?
I used to say little things, but it's the
dismissed.
Typical, our imaginations run wild. Yeah. Sometimes
give her some Benadryl and send her back to bed.
Send her back to bed.
That's what they did. I don't know.
Yeah, and so there's times if I walk in a room and I would feel really uncomfortable, cold. And I would feel like something's there. And, so, now I'm in school, and when kids are, it's reading time, okay, or we go to the library, everybody's looking for, Charlotte's Web and Wizard of Oz. I'm looking for ghost books,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I knew there was something more,
Yeah.
and I really don't know how I was brought to Reiki, and I think I had mentioned this before. I read one day, it's this like blog that I read sometimes, and it was titled, "You don't find Reiki, Reiki finds you."
Interesting.
And I felt like it was a bridge to things, and to me understanding who I am and acknowledging it. I was always very quiet. Like, my family they always knew.
Right.
They always knew that I had that, but it was never discussed or talked about. And I kept it to myself for so long because, I don't know, I don't feel like I have to make everybody know, like, as long as I know.
Yeah.
But yet they would always like to talk to me about it.
Sure they would.
So
privately without anybody else around.
And the interesting thing is, like, I always remember the stories of my mom growing up, and she talks about it more and more. So I'm going to backtrack for 1 second.
Sure.
You're wondering how my immediate family. My mom's 95. She's still alive. She's like
God
a
bless her.
50-year-old. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
She just turned 95. She loves what I do. And she is like, I think there's a place in heaven for her. She's going to be patronized as a saint. She prays to, she's so dedicated to her faith. And I am too. That's the thing. I am deeply rooted in my faith. And this has made me grow stronger in my faith.
Okay.
And my faith, I do feel there's a separation of faith and church too. Like, I'm not happy about some of the things that have happened, but
Sure.
it doesn't shake my faith. Like,
No.
my faith is always there.
Yeah.
So my mom always used to tell us stories. They grew up very poor, and they didn't have money to go to a doctor. And she used to say, "Oh,
In America or in
America, yes.
Okay,
When
okay.
they came here, it
Okay,
was,
so is your mom
difficult.
first generation?
She's first generation.
Okay.
Yeah. So she used to talk about how they used to go to the witch doctor. And so now that I know what this is, I said, "Mom, that's an energy healer, right?"
Yeah.
And they, and it was tough for them too, because they were not looked at. They weren't looked upon, especially way back then.
No.
But, and my grandmother, who is very faithful, that's who she took her kids to. And she said, "Gina," she said, she says, "Your grandmother has taken some of us, like, when we were very, very sick," she says, "and I'm telling you, we turned around in 24 hours.
Yeah.
She goes, "There's something to it."
Yeah.
And I said, "There is." So, I'm over it with whoever sees me as,
Yeah.
you want to look at me, go ahead, look at me as witch. I'm so...
I'm so sorry to say that term because I didn't even...
it's
people...
icky.
I say the term because I was thinking of, like, something that the church make... I have a... somewhat of a problem with religion, and I had it as a young child when I figured out that Henry VIII just wanted to sleep with Queen Anne or whoever was next in his list, but he couldn't get a divorce because he was in the Catholic Church or whatever it was, so he switched the country to Protestantism.
Oh.
Right? And so now England and the United Kingdom go Protestant.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, where my family's from, stays Catholic. My parents, I was raised Catholic till 7, and then my father, one of the only people I know who has ever done this, wrote a letter of resignation to the Catholic Church.
Wow.
Yeah, with philosophical reasons as to why.
Wow.
Always in my house, the rule was you had to go to church. I worked in radio at 19. My shift was midnight to 6 in a rock station, so midnight Saturday into 6 o'clock Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I still had to get up and go to church. That was the rule. It was a Protestant
You have to
church.
be on your deathbed to not go to church.
Yeah.
In my family, anyway.
Right. And so the Protestant, though, my mom, her dad would not talk to her for a year.
Wow.
Because she became Northern Ireland. And that's when I went, this is all bullshit. We all believe in the same sort of
that's the
thing. And what are these rules that you're putting in place?
Yeah.
And is it about controlling people? And is there a bigger energy? And was Jesus' message not completely, but misinterpreted to some extent
Yeah.
and manipulated in a way to sort of control people? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
and,
how I
and we
felt.
and we don't know,
Right.
And that's the thing. You know, I like to honor people where they're at, right?
Yep.
Everybody has their own journey, and they can believe what they want. And at the end of the day, you have this being.
Yes.
Okay. There
Yep.
is a bigger, massive, bigger power than us.
Right.
Okay. And then you have all kinds of roads to get there. I always say there's not one road to anywhere.
Yeah.
There's many roads to get
Oh, I
to the
like that.
same place.
Oh, I like
right?
that a lot.
And so to get to the same place, okay, Judaism,
Yes.
Islam, Catholicism, we just call it something different, and we have a different belief in how we get there. And I honor that for people. Like, if that's what everybody was raised, everybody has a different story growing up.
Yeah.
So, you know, my experiences are not the same as somebody else's.
That's interesting because as you say that is, you know, people go, well, I don't believe in anything. And I go, yeah, but I didn't
And
get
I
up
don't
this.
understand that.
I
yeah.
didn't get up and turn on the sun today. And I
Right.
didn't pull a zip line out and rotate the earth. There's something greater here.
There's something greater.
One of the things that I was in absolute awe of, and some of my friends even poked fun at me, was the eclipse. I loved the eclipse, even though it was a cloudy day here, because I did nothing
Yep.
for this. And I went, wow, there's something so beyond us, so much bigger than us. And I think that you need to tap into that to a certain degree.
Yes.
And that's where Reiki, you know, with the energy healing, and I'll talk about Reiki, but you can talk about just energy healing. I do wonder with your relationship with both pain, physical and emotional, for you personally, how has Reiki kind of helped? Does that help you kind of navigate those things?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't have a story of trauma
No.
or anything like
Yeah.
that, but you don't have to.
No, you don't. Everybody's
has
lived-
something.
yes, of course.
We have all, and there were things that I knew I needed to shed. Okay.
Yep.
And I have. I am very, like, I can tell when I'm not grounded. I'm all over the place. Anxiety sets in. Like, I'm human. I still have things that happen. But now I know how to use my energy to disperse it and get rid of it and to dispel it. And it works. You know, and it's not psychosomatic.
No.
There is a change in the feeling when you feel that, like, something has been lifted from you. And, you know, here's the thing, like, the religion thing, and it doesn't make me crazy anymore because I know who I am.
Right.
And I'm also going to say, if somebody knows who I am and they're going to put that on me, then you don't know me.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because I know what I do, I can't even put the two in the same room. One has nothing to do with the other. There's no worshiping. You know, people think, "Oh, do you worship crystal?" No. Like, it's so ignorant.
Yeah. What are some of the misconceptions?
Oh, you worship crystals.
Yeah.
You think that you can heal people. You know what? I'm very upfront. I'm a conduit. Yes, I might know how to teach you how to, like, maneuver your energy and how to manipulate your energy in a positive way.
Yeah.
Okay? But the person that's on the table, they're the ones that are doing the work, because there's people that come in that just, they know they need a rebalancing and that's it. But then there's people that need longer term work. The people that really want to see changes, that want to change the way the direction of their life is going, they're doing all the work. I'm doing nothing. They are healing themselves, okay, by shifting their energy. They don't know how to do it.
Right.
And that's what I'm there for.
Yeah.
But I also sent them home with homework. And I said, it's the action that's going to keep taking you to the next level. I can't do the action for them.
Would it be, I'll ask you this. This is kind of a far out there sort of statement, but I think that we are so much more than these physical bodies.
Yes.
There are those that I've talked to, and Ayurvedic I'm going to say it wrong, but the ancient Indian medicine, water healing, right? And the Dr. Deep Singh. And Dr. Deep will say, it's amazing that 2% of you fits in, is all this is only 2% of who you are. That there's a bigger thing. And then there are those that say that you choose to come here and that you have signed a contract somewhere with the universe or whatever, and that the purpose of living your life on planet Earth is to learn to manipulate energy. Now, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I read a lot of stuff and I listen to a lot of people, and I always take my own thing. Where you're talking about shedding things and shedding your own energy and stuff, I find myself, because just like that, right?
Yep.
I can see myself get a little scattered and I'm all over the place and what's going to happen. And I have to just settle. I can get my heart rate down to about 45 beats a minute. I've had the EKG go off with an alarm because it was so low. I can it's a thing where you can just go, okay. And you realize that you're okay and it's here. I don't know what's happening in the world. I went to Buffalo Bills training camp. They are grounding the players. They're having the players take off their socks and shoes and walk on the grass barefoot. They're grounding them. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that or not, but if you go to Buffalo Bills training camp, or if you watch any of these, watch Hard Knocks, I'm sure there'll be something. The physical trainers are having the players walk. Why? Because it's grounding. And that everything we've sort of been, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but the way we've been trained to live, grind it out, work real hard. I'm not saying that those aren't going to get you there. Like you said, there's many paths, right?
Yes.
But there's easier paths.
Yes.
Right? That you need a 4-wheel drive for the grind it out. You might just need front-wheel drive for the more energetic path and the manipulation of the energy and rising to a higher frequency, which is all things I believe Reiki helps you do.
It does. And that's it in a nutshell. It helps you to rise to a higher consciousness so that you can go within, because all of our answers are within. We have all of the answers, right?
Yeah.
And it does. I've always had the spiritual connection. I can't speak for someone that's never had it and then they developed it. I've always had it. And it has gotten stronger, and I'm still, leveling up. People are coming to me, if people are ever coming to me thinking, oh, I want to get like a psychic. No, I'm not a psychic.
Yeah.
I get the messages that people need to hear. You might come to a session and get 1 million messages. You might come to the next one and get nothing. I don't look for things. I let it come, and it comes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And, recently in my sessions now, I'm starting to get names, and, so there's definitely...
When you're with people? Yeah.
Starting to level up a little bit. But, I'm not somebody that can walk in a room and start, getting messages from spirit. That's not me. Now, I can walk in a room and start getting messages about things. I try to stay away from that. I try to block it.
But may I ask, or do you not want to mention what that would be? Is it bad? Like if you walk in
it's never bad. It's just I know when something's going. I can sense sometimes when something's going on with somebody. It happened a few months back, and I came home and I made a comment. I can't say specifically what it was. And my kids are like, Mom, where are you getting that from? And I says, I don't know. I says, just wait and see. And
it happened.
A couple months later.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like, remember you said that? And I said, yeah. They're like, you were right. I says, yeah, I know I was.
Yeah.
So I try not to read people. I don't intentionally walk into a place with friends or family and try to read. But sometimes, I can't stop what's coming in, and I'm just like, that's none of my business.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it's not my business. Not for me to worry about.
No, but you're would you say you're almost empathic in a way that you can feel people?
Oh, I'm very empathic. Oh, yeah. As a kid, I was emotional as a kid. In fact, 2nd grade was traumatic for me. I hated my teacher. She hated me, and I felt it. She did not like me.
Wow.
And it took my parents to go, and they came home, and they're like, I think you're right. My mother actually told me, she's like, I can understand what you're, but she didn't understand. I saw my second grade teacher as an ogre. I saw something different that I could never get out of my mind, and I felt something from her that made me cry every single day. I did not want to be around her. Like, honestly, it was a bad energy.
Yeah.
As an adult looking back, knowing what I felt, that it was a very bad energy that I felt from her. I didn't want to be around her. It was the worst year of my life.
Really? Second grade.
And I never cried before. I never cried. Like, I used to cry because, like, I would miss my mom. I was, I was attached to,
All right, but that seems
but
pretty typical.
the second grade was a very different story for me. I saw something, and every time I would see her face, I would get a flash of something else.
Really?
Yep.
So, yeah, there are those that will say, and I always wonder, because we talk about evil in the world and evil energy, and I don't know, but there was always that very simple, and I think it was Thomas Aquinas, the simple philosophy of the being that is me, the being that is the tree. But there is no evil because everything comes from Source, God. It's just a privation of good, which then, like, it starts to spoil, I would assume, and they go lower frequency things. But then there are people who will tell you those lower frequency things can attach to you, there are people that have died and they maybe quickly and didn't realize they're dead, and they're looking for a human form, and so they attach themselves to you. It's strange.
Yep.
And you say this stuff to people, and they'll look at you like you got 3 heads.
I think it's very real. I mean,
no, you do. That's why you're here.
It's, I was working on someone one time, and I did, like, I get uncomfortable with that stuff because, like, I just like to work in the light. I don't like dealing with anything dark. Like, if somebody told me, if they said, I want to make an appointment, I feel like I've got something attached, I would not see them.
Okay.
Like,
I was just going to ask you, have you ever refused to do Reiki to someone?
And I've never had to refuse, but I always like to know why they're coming in first.
Yeah.
Because it's not my specialty. It's not my area, and they need to see somebody who is well-versed in that. It's just not my thing, and I don't ever want to bring anything home.
Right. Yeah.
I'm very protective of my space. And if I get a weird feeling about somebody, I also listen to that because
our feelings
I feel super connected, and I feel very protected. I do.
Good.
I feel very protected all the time. So I hope that always stays. And there's plenty of people that know how to deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that my fear of it would kind of like invite it more to me, where someone who doesn't have fear, because fear is that's like a magnet for
everything negative.
energy.
100%. Right.
Yeah. So because of my fear of it, I think I'm just not a good person for it. And I like uplifting people, and and thank God for people, because there are people that have those attachments, and I think that they can wreak havoc, and I'm thankful that there's people that know how to work on them to help them out of it. You know?
Sure.
So.
It is a weird thing. As you're saying that, I would be more along your line. I'm looking for the light.
Yes.
I noticed this week I'd never turn my TV on. Didn't
Good
turn
boy.
it on. I don't. Well, here's the thing: it's like I all I watch is ESPN.
Yeah.
And I canceled whatever I had because I got ESPN Plus through my phone. I haven't set it up on the TV yet. I haven't even looked at it. It's been like, and I've had the month of July was a little chaotic for me, and so I just kind of coming down, and I go, I think there's so much. We get too much information today. And I really think like simple things of taking a walk and putting the phone down, go out in nature, there's, I think now, maybe it was during the panel that you and I did, I thought I heard somebody say in Australia, they're making it, they're calling it like nature deprivation syndrome or something. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But they're telling you,
No,
go
I
take a
believe it.
walk in the woods,
Go
you
take a
dummy.
walk,
And
yes.
it's like, put on some classical music and just go, or put on something that's soft and go. All this stuff that's coming at you, even if it's just silly TMZs, we are so hyper connected.
We
like
are too.
I get concerned about like my 15-year-old son. It is nonstop with the phone to the point where I think often you're not fully present with me because I know you have 3 forms of communication going on that I'm not even aware of.
Yep.
And I think that way.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that way. And I go, boy, I'm not sure how good or bad that is. Is this part of evolution of mankind? I don't know.
I don't know where it's going to lead, honestly.
Yeah.
We are bombarded, and then there's like the second part of it is all the information we're getting. Is it even true?
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
Like, then you have to decipher, and then people are fighting. Like,
It's too
oh
much
my
work for
God,
me.
it's exhausting.
It is, and that's where I go,
Yeah.
why don't we
It's
just,
exhausting.
try to create, but create from the energy and create from the the positive and the light, as you speak of.
Yep.
Because I do think, like, with the energy healing that you do, would you say, let's say somebody came to you, should they be coming on a regular basis? And I say this as we do so much physical therapy, right? We would get a prescription and we would go and rehab the ankle, rehab the whatever. And I just wonder, with Reiki, should it be looked at, or energy healing, if that's more, looked at somewhat the same way?
Yeah, it should be. 'Cause, so there's people who understand it and are like, I'm looking for an energy healer. I just need to get a rebalancing. For that, yeah, you can come in, whenever you feel like you're off. But for people that are really trying, that have been through trauma, like they really do need longer term work. And I like to start out once a week, and I even offer, because like I know people are trying to be budget conscious.
Yes.
I like an hour for the first time
Okay.
because I really need to get to know the person.
Right.
And then they can come in for 30 minutes and we focus on the chakras. But if they need the counseling piece after, because I sit to do a breakdown, and sometimes like an hour session can turn into an hour and 45 minutes just from talking.
Okay, this is so much more than I knew what you do, what you
Yeah.
specifically do. So you do the Reiki on someone, and then you sit. What is the breakdown? What's the counseling? I love this.
So I do oracle cards for them.
Okay.
I pull them before they even come in.
Okay.
And that kind of gives me a little bit of insight as to what might be going on.
Right.
And then we read the cards, and I always say, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. It doesn't matter. And like when I draw a card for somebody, my cards are meant to, I specifically connect with spirit to release the cards that have a message. And I can get very specific. It could either be a message or guidance. So I'm very specific with my intentions when I'm pulling them. They are not to tell the future or anything like that. They are to help someone to go either deeper into something. I can't tell you how many times I've drawn a card and it like literally brings something to the surface that was buried.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And they're like, oh, my God. And, like, it makes them remember something that's very pertinent that they think is just something that's nothing that they really need to clear. It could be guidance on maybe making you think about something, like I'm just using this as an example. Like if a card is implying that maybe you need to be more grateful, maybe like, I really haven't been very grateful. So there's so many different things. And then, one thing leads to another, and they start purging. I can't just say you got to go.
Yeah.
I put an hour down for people, but honestly, I do not book tight schedules. I'm not by the clock. I give them what they need.
So this is really very personal.
Yeah.
You know what this is? I don't know if you agree with the word, but it's very loving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very loving.
Yes.
You come from the love energy, and you are there to help the person understand and guide. I think often you brought up somebody saying a psychic or whatever, like you're a psychic. I don't know if you agree with this. I have said this to other people. I'm not sure that anybody can tell you your future.
No.
I think they can read your energy and see the path you're on, because how many people go, "Ugh, didn't happen." Well, they told you it might, and maybe you so strongly somehow in your own energy diverted whatever it was, and it didn't happen, good or bad.
Because we have free will.
100%.
That's why I don't believe in
I don't think you
telling
can.
the future. You can change your future.
Yes, you can.
You can be on a bad trajectory, and then
someone
you're at
could
a
warn you,
crossroads.
right? Yes,
Then
100%.
you're at a crossroads. You can go this way, or you can go this way.
Yeah.
So and that's why I use everything I do comes from a place of love and goodness. There's nothing malicious or malintent. There's nothing religious. There's nothing that I'm trying to buck against. I'm not trying to play God. That's like telling a doctor or a nurse or a chiropractor, they're in the business of healing too.
Yes, they are.
But they're not trying to supersede God.
No.
We're helping people.
Yes.
And that's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something else.
Good.
I don't feel that. I always believe in teamwork. When I see someone, because there's other people in the building. I'm at the Healing House, so I'm with Katie Wilmot also. And there's times like when they have some physical stuff going on and emotional stuff, it's all tied together. I have this book on the metaphysical meaning of illness, and you can look up every syndrome thing. It always connects to what is going on emotionally with them. It's crazy. Wow. So sometimes I'll be like...
So your feelings are your indicator.
Oh, yeah. I feel things so deeply. Yeah. I mean,
No, but I mean for even us.
Oh, God,
like,
yeah.
Right, where you're talking about, what there's something going on emotionally, and it...
Causing physical...
dis-ease.
Yes.
Disease.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly. So I'll be like, I really think you could benefit from seeing Katie. I don't make them go... Again, free will.
What is
right?
Katie?
So Katie does a type of energy healing. It is... Hers is so different.
Okay.
She was a nurse before.
Yeah.
And she does, oh my God, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I'll think of the name of it in a second. But she works with people, and again, all energy based. She feels the energy, and she can tell what might be going on, and then she has these different remedies that she makes for them to take. And like when I say remedies, it's all energy based.
Right.
So she has her own way of doing things. And then Colleen, even though Colleen is, in New Mexico, I still refer people to her because she does it through Zoom. She's a spiritual counselor, and she helps people. I feel like the spiritual piece can be missing in a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so if I think somebody is aligned with her, and that she's aligned with them, because that's important. Like, I know who the matches are for her. But I also might be like, you need to go see your doctor. You need to, you need some counseling too. I might even suggest a different type of energy healing. Everybody wants to be the hero and it's because of what I did that they got better. I don't feel that way.
No,
I feel
get
like
that.
It's teamwork.
Yeah.
Because it's never just one thing. I feel like what I do, I mean, I have great results, and if I feel that somebody needs another thing added onto it, I'm not afraid to send them somewhere, because we're in the business of helping the person. This isn't about us. This is about the client. Yeah. So that's just kind of how I roll.
I think it's a great, that's absolutely the way it should be.
Ego needs to step out of the way.
Well,
right?
the ego, too, I don't get any sense of ego with you, because you said early on, I'm the conduit. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I
don't take responsibility for, I'll take a little responsibility, I guess. But, just energy flows through me. Through me versus... I am the energy. Yeah, right. I don't. We don't do that.
No, that gets a little.
And the thing is, I will tell you the difference between me and the type of healing people get confused with. Okay. Someone who is blind is not going to walk in my office and I lay my hands on them and no. the type of healing that they're thinking about with Jesus, he is really a superpower for healing. It is a type of energy healing that
it
is all through energy. I mean, let's be real here. Okay. But, you know, no, I do not. I don't put myself up there at all.
Do you ever, though, tell people to not talk about the ailment that they came to you for after leaving you? The only reason I ask that is when you talk about Jesus and you're saying, you know, like the eyesight, I remember, and I can't find it in the Bible, and my dad told me I was wrong on this, but I think it was true. Go forth and tell no one. When he would, like, the leprosy and the ear fell off. And, you know, I'll just say, you know, Bob goes and sees Jesus, his ear's back, and all of a sudden Bob comes back in and Tom goes, give it a week, it's going to fall off. And the doubt comes back, the worry comes back, and all that, where go forth and tell no one. And so you are so fervent in the belief that everything is good that we don't put the doubt back in there. And I think a lot of times you'll see people relapse, and you do wonder in certain instances when they get the all clear, right? And they ring the bell, talking about cancer or something. And then later on, there's the, man, you know what happened to my Uncle Joe? Right? And so now they,
negativity.
Right? And so you start to, and I really wonder, is there real truth to that? Is there, now, no one gets, you're here for a finite amount of time. What time that is, we don't know.
Right.
But so it's not to say that, you know, you need to, everybody leaves, right? Everybody leaves the physical form. But is that a portion of it? And I often think with ideas, when you have an idea to do something, I don't say anything until it's done, because everybody's going to tell you,
right.
You want to write a screenplay? I have 5 guys that tried to write screenplays. You know where they are now? They're bartenders. That's you know what I'm saying? Like,
so stuff like that,
Yeah.
Don't, like, I always even try to tell my kids that, like, don't talk about it until it's done. Talk about it when you have a final product.
Right.
Yeah.
And I even wonder with the healing, in a way, the things that are bugging
gotta
you.
Be honest, I never thought of that.
I only do when you brought up Jesus. I thought of that a lot, and I often think, you know, we sort of bring back. Here's something that I don't know why so much, but I'm so on this thing now, and it has more to do with my kids than anything. But I'm not a fan of arguing for our limitations, and I think that's also a form of saying I have severe depression. That's why it's there. Okay. And I wish that you didn't know you had severe depression. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not doing that. Yeah. I'm not saying that there isn't a Western medicine that could be seen as a tool. But I do think that when it's in your head so much that it becomes the crutch or the excuse not to, instead of actually living.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you're bringing that up, because, again, everything is energy.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are energy.
Yep.
Our words are energy.
Yeah.
So I met with, this was, I don't know, probably 8 years ago, maybe longer. It was after I did my training, and this woman, her name was Georgie. She has no training. She was born into this. She just does it. Okay, she understands it. And she came to the place that I was training, and I said, I'd love to meet her, because I know a friend that went to her, and she's amazing. And so I met with her for 30 minutes, and we were just chatting, and she was talking about this kind of thing. She says, we create such permanence with our words.
Yeah.
She said, instead of saying, I have anxiety, it's, I'm having an anxiety experience.
Yeah.
She says, because an experience comes and goes.
Right.
Where I have anxiety is a permanence.
100%.
Or I have this, or I have, like, instead, she says, it's the way that we word things that we create permanence. And I always remembered that.
Yeah.
And I try to be conscious of it. Because
I'm so happy, because I've never heard anybody say that.
Yep.
And it's been a big thing with me. And I'm not saying
I've always
that,
remembered that.
You know, let's say early intervention with certain things with children. Wonderful.
Yep.
But don't let the kid know what they have or don't have.
Yes.
Let's push them as far as you can. Let them live as free as possible. And I don't mean push them. Let them find their own way, but let's not let their limitations. Yes,
putting
everybody.
them in a box.
Yes, yes. It's like saying you're a Reiki healer. I don't want to be put in that box, is what you said. I'm a healer. I think that's wonderful and so important for people to realize that. You know, you look at a
Yeah.
Venn diagram, right? We've got everything's intersecting circles that we have. I think that's I love that. I love that woman said that.
That was
because
very, it stuck with me.
Sure.
It very much stuck because it made sense. If you understand energy, that makes sense.
Talk to me about understanding energy when you say that, because I'd like to say to you, oh, I do. Well, I don't know if I do. I want to. There are a lot of times I feel like I try to sometimes put my hands close together and feel the heat.
Oh, yeah.
And then let it,
doing
and do this. And then there are times like I just try to move that through me. I don't do it to other people because it's a little weird, but
do I know everything about energy?
No,
I
no,
don't.
no,
I
I'm not
definitely
saying-
don't. But when I say I understand it through this process and doing what I do, I understand it so much more, and so much makes sense that probably things I shouldn't understand. Words. Our words are so powerful. Everything is a vibration. Everything is an energy. There's been studies where you talk negative to a plant, like where they put plants together. You talk positive. Our words will hurt us or help us to grow and bloom. Our thoughts, okay? Have you ever met someone that like literally they open their mouth? It drains me, okay? When people are so negative, I have been around these people. It's like you say hello and all of a sudden everything spills out about how horrible their day was, and it's very, very draining. And it's okay to have a bad day. And I'm not talking about people in your home. I'm talking about in general, like people I've been in contact with in public. My container's as big as can be for my home. Everybody has a bad day. But I'm talking about the person that you see on a constant basis or every time you run into them.
Yeah.
It's just, you say hello and you're almost like you never say how are you, because they're
going to let you know anyway.
You'll know the last week of their life, and not one thing was good. And I have clients like that too, and I'm just like, I know if someone is just going to be caught on the hamster wheel. Do
you ever say to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm honest. I'm just like, if you can't get out of the loop, you're just going to continue.
Right.
Like it's that saying that is such a simple saying. If you're going to continue doing the same things, nothing's going to change, right?
Right.
So you have to be willing to change things. And thinking that you want to change it versus actually doing the things to change it are two different things. You can sit and think and wish all you want, okay? And that's the same thing. Like it's like manifesting, right?
Right.
It's sort of your way of like what are you manifesting in your mind? You have to put the action in. You've got to do something.
I think that's a very important thing, because manifesting. There were a couple of things that popped into my head as we're talking. I love these conversations for me because they're, I don't know. I just love them. I love them because they're more of a philosophical thing. And then I see the world a certain way or people a certain way. And I've interacted with people that I like to think that I can say it in a way that maybe somebody else would understand it or get it a little bit better than other things. And I think you have that as well. But when we're talking about even, I think the buzzwords like manifest, right? So now I'm going to manifest this. Well, what does that mean? And what are you doing? And do you truly understand it? Because there's even that, one of the insurance companies do a commercial where the guy's like, and you bundle your boat, and I love this spot and all this. You better get here before people. And then this girl's like, hey, just out here, fam, manifesting happiness. It's become the buzz, right? It's become the influencer buzz.
Thank you, Joe Dispenza.
So I go, okay, that's fine, but you just have to. The thing is, I equate it to working out. I have had I'll call it an interesting 2 years of my life recently. Okay. That has been ups and downs, and I would say, I guess traumatic. It seems a little dramatic to say that word, but there's stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're sort of coming out of that, but I think what you think and where you go and the frequency you tap into will determine everything. And sometimes the simple thing of getting up and taking a walk and just feeling better is the next step to then cleaning your kitchen, which I know sounds dumb, but that helps.
No.
And getting a little more organized and starting your thing. And you just kind of go from there, and you'll start to see the manifestation of exactly what you want. But I can't get from A to B. Like, I can't get from here to Buffalo unless I go on the journey.
Right.
And that's the part that people I think they don't like. And you've got to do the journey, the work, the energy work.
I laugh because I think people think that they're like, okay, I'm going to write down in my journal.
Yes.
I'm going to say the words.
Abracadabra.
No. And it has to come from here. Like, saying things from your mouth is different than having it, you feel it and come from your heart. Everything starts right here. Like, if your heart is not clear, you need to clear this out before you start your manifesting journey.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of times that limitations that you have to go inside yourself and realize the thought you thought over and over and over that became a belief is actually bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? That you can actually, and a lot of times too, I think life mirrors you. What I was going to say, over like the 2 years, I gained 35 pounds, and I'm like, I got to get back in the gym, and I've been running and doing this, and I see the scale and it just winces down just slightly, and I thought to myself, but it took you, I'll call it disease, it took you 2.5 years to get sick. It's going to take you a little while to get back. So enjoy the journey, enjoy the jogs, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy that, and way easier said than done. Because we're impatient and we have instant gratification.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is going to come from making sure you love yourself enough through all of this. Like, you have to love yourself.
Yes.
Because if you're loathing yourself through it, that's not going to help. That's going to hold you back.
I said to a friend of mine the other day who said something to me, and I said, would you talk to your best friend that way? About themselves. They were saying something about themselves. And I said, would you talk to your best friend that way? And they've echoed that back to me a few times, sort of sarcastically, but I think it resonated because I'm like, why, I eat like a child and I'm so fucking fat, my pants don't fit and blah, blah, blah. And I go, would you talk to your best friend that way if she came to you or he came to you and said, and it's let me just say this, men never talk that way to each other.
Yeah.
You never hear a guy go, hey, do these jeans make me look fat?
No, that's a girl's thing.
Yes, it's a girl thing, but there are other things guys will do. Yeah. Same type of stuff. You're a human being.
Same equation.
Yes, same equation. And you just can't talk, to yourself that way. You do have to really, truly love yourself.
Yes.
And at times give yourself rest and give yourself a break. And I always think this, you got a couple choices in the moment.
Yep.
Go with the one that feels the best. Do it to its fullest. Don't worry about the outcome. Yep. Sounds a little crazy.
No, it's not. I always say release outcome. Like, don't have expectations of what the outcome, like, release it. And that's something I had to learn. And when I did, like.
What happened when you did?
I don't care so, like, sometimes when you care so much and it, like, if something doesn't go your way and it makes you mad, that's just a block. Yeah. It's just a block. So I manifest all the time and it works. Yeah. Like, I know what I have to do. In fact, me and Colleen are putting together a 6-day manifesting challenge. So she's mixing in astrology so people can understand.
Is she your friend in New Mexico?
She is.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to do it online. And hopefully September. I'm still writing it. Make the sign of the cross for that. So she's doing the astrology piece so people can understand who they are. Like, astrology, again, it's just when you're born under certain planets, I am telling you, when you see chaos, like on the collective, take a look at what's going on inside your own life or things that come up. It is amazing. I have learned so much. And just even about the signs that you were born under and how you interact and, some of the things that could be your blocks in life. So she's doing that part of it. I'm writing the action part of it so that people will have like a journal, and I'm going to do some meditations. And the first thing we have to do is clear out the heart chakra. So just kind of bring them through a 6-day journey so that they can be interactive with it. And if they can't join us on our lives, it will be taped. They can do it in the evening, but make a commitment to that 6 days and see what changes.
wow, that's fantastic. How do people become part of that?
So once I have everything written, and I just have to make sure like all of the technical stuff works,
Yeah.
because you know,
Yep.
it's not my forte. Sometimes I'm okay with it, but it's not my forte. We're going to start advertising for it.
Good.
We're going to pay for advertising. And I said, you know, I'm not looking for if anybody on Facebook wants to join, that's fine. I said, I'm not looking for the people I know. I want the country.
Yeah.
I want
Yes.
outside of the country.
Yes.
We're
The world.
reaching for, I said, I don't know what we're going to do this first time, but if it goes well, we're just going to keep building it. And
Yeah.
we're going to keep doing it because people don't know how to do it.
Right.
And it really does work. I can tell you stories. It's worked for me.
I think it's so true, Gina. And as you're talking, I often think like I don't know if it's conditioning in the way we were brought up, but our knee-jerk reaction sometimes to certain situations is, I will say, for me, the wrong reaction, and that I've learned to find a way to give myself a buffer, so then I can sort of almost read the energy of the other person and go deeper and say, this is an implication of something deeper. What else is really going on?
Yes.
You know, even with my son, he said to his mother that there was, he thinks I have a girlfriend or something, and blah, 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 and I'm never going to call her mom. And she said, I'm not saying that to do anything, and I'm not saying that you do or you don't. And I said, he's deeply saddened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Because your first reaction would be like, whoa, I'm spending my time with none of your fucking business, bitch. Right? Which is horrible. And it's not what this was about. And that's not even how she was coming at it. And I simply had to stop and go, oh, he's sad.
So that's just a sign that you have truly grown, because when you can start seeing things from that, you are seeing it from your heart.
Yeah.
And not from here.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've had those shifts too.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
You know, let's face it, we all don't love being around everybody, right?
Right.
And everybody doesn't love being around me. So sometimes you just have to manage it. And when you reach this space, you can, this feeling of, I feel bad for them, because I've had that happen where all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, they have so much going on that this has nothing to do with me.
Oh.
It's all them.
Yeah.
They are not happy.
I know we're going longer than I said we would.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I don't want to mess up your day.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So here would be my other question then. I often say, there are two things with this, but you can't assert on someone else. Mm-hmm. Do you almost like I can't assert something on you. I can't. This is why I think human beings are incapable of almost pure love, right? Right. The absolute, unadulterated.
Yeah.
Right, the pure love, because I'd
to get as
love
close
you
as we
so
can.
much if you just behaved differently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, conditions, right?
Yes.
Putting
Unconditional
conditions on
love,
things.
I think, is something that human beings
Yeah.
are somewhat incapable of, because it's always, well, I would feel better if you blanked. Yeah. And that's where I've started to go, hang on a second. That's a little bit of bullshit. And it's a little bit of bullshit on me for thinking that. Whatever they're doing, they're doing. You got to stay on your high-flying disc over here in order for everything to be better and maybe help lift them up a little bit.
And when we do that, that's the time that you have to look in the mirror and say, why is this triggering me?
Yeah.
And it usually has nothing to do with the other person. It's something that
Something
happened
in you.
within you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to look at yourself.
Yeah.
And people don't want to. They would rather point their fingers at somebody else. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Right.
But yeah, no, you have to really go within, and you have to really deeply ask yourself, like, why would this bother me? Like, it has nothing to do with me.
It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So there's triggers.
There are triggers, and I'm not saying it's not real, not saying, but you have the ultimate control.
Absolutely.
You need to learn to control your energy. I have often said, before exploring more the energy side of life and that sort of thing, would say that one of the things you have to do as an adult is get control of your emotions.
Absolutely.
And that
true.
is part of that. And I do think you can do that through energy. I think you have to
You
learn
can
to
do
control
it if you
that.
want to.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to...
But you can help, is my point. You can help. And that's, I think, something that people need to see. I'm excited for the 6-day course. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
It's a fun thing to help people. And, you know, while they're doing it, we're doing it.
Yep.
And we're there to answer questions if people are stuck, you know, and they get meditations. And so it's, you know, we're embarking on it. And it's, you know, yes, I know what I'm doing, but it's like, I've never done this before. Like, this is my first time doing it, but we have to start somewhere. So, you know, I'm human.
I just
I'm
love
still
that.
kinda
I love that
scared,
you,
know?
but I love that you're willing to do that.
Yes.
You know, I mean, fear is the biggest thing. I think it was actually a comic that I loved. His name was Bill Hicks. And Bill Hicks died of pancreatic cancer and knew that he was dying. And, he had jokes. I think he went on the Letterman show when Dave was on CBS, and they cut it because he had some joke about Jesus and, you know, everybody wearing the cross. And when he comes back, he's going to be running away from you all or something ridiculous. Right? Gets the cross is such a, and the Catholic League, like, so they squashed it. They never aired it. And years later, Letterman had his mom on and replayed the set of what he had recorded that night. It was interesting. But one of Bill's final things was there's only two things in life. And this is a comic. And this is where I go, sometimes there are just some people who are tapped in. Yeah. He said there's two things, love and fear. He goes, love will tell you to take care of your neighbor, feed the world 1,000,000 times over, take our defense budget, and let's make the world a better place. Fear tells you to buy more guns, put bigger locks on your door, blah, 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 that sort of thing. And it was more, but he goes, you know, life, it's a ride. It's an ups and downs and thrills and chills. And then he goes, but then some people have come back to us and said, it's just a ride.
Yeah.
And then he says, but then there are those who go, what are you talking about? I have a big bank account and I can't have you. Blah, blah, blah. I got to protect. And that we lose that it's just a ride. I mean, I watched my dad die. You know what he took with him? You know what happened? He had a hospital gown on. All those beautiful clothes, all that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't take it with you.
I do.
Go and live.
And people are not going to remember you for that. They're going to remember, you know, it's written all over the place, but it's so true. They're going to remember how you treated them. Right. How they felt when they were around you.
Exactly.
No one cares about all of the other stuff.
I am starting to, maybe we'll end on this note, and I'll see if you agree or not. I am starting to believe, because our feelings are really energy, and the vibrations of songs, like you go, I love that song. Someone else goes, that is a piece of shit hair metal. How could you like that from the 80s? But it brought you back to a feeling.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you want to be the person people feel good to be around.
Absolutely.
Right? You know, the one thing I will say, and I don't know anything about reading people, is I don't think you judge. I get a really non-judgmental. You're very warm and accepting, and I really get that.
I definitely try to be.
I just think it's natural with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, do I judge something?
Well, we all do. We have to.
Do.
I always say saying don't judge goes against humanity or
really
nature.
Try to. One thing I've learned is that we are here for different reasons. People come into this world for different reasons. When we have kids, one thing I've noticed with my kids, all my kids are so different. And I honor each and every one of them for who they are. And I learned to do that because I can't tell you that I might have been like this 15 years ago.
Right.
But I have shifted so much that I honor where they're at. I love their different aspirations. I don't compare them because they're individuals. And each of them teaches me something different. I learn from my kids. And they are here to teach us lessons. And some of them are even here to push us to be better. So that's sort of where I'm at. And I definitely do see people and situations in a very different light than what I might have before. And
Very open.
I think it's because I feel so much from others. Like sometimes without knowing somebody, they might be acting a certain way, or I could feel their sadness. Like I think I feel so much from people that it just makes me know that maybe they need something a little bit more. So I try to be that person for them.
Yeah.
If possible.
Give me the website again for people to find you and maybe learn about the course.
mbsreikiwellness.com.
Okay, mbsreikiwellness.com.
MBS stands for Mind, Body, Soul, but I didn't want to write that in.
No, right. Well, that's a lot to type. That would be a lot to type. Gina, it's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And this has been, I'm going to call it the first official. It's going to be its own podcast, and we'll push it out weekly. And I'd love to get your friend in New Mexico, if they're willing. I could set up
I know that they would be.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love to do that.
Okay.
All right. For Gina, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you on BILLIGHTENMENT next week.
Whisper loud and let them hear. Every answer's in your mirror.
Looking for high-quality cannabis that fits your budget and your lifestyle? Welcome to MJ Dispensary, your go-to destination for premium cannabis in New York State. At MJ, they're more than just a dispensary. They're a community. Whether you're managing pain, easing stress, or just looking for a little elevated pleasure, they've got you covered with products tailored to your needs. Their mission? To create a safe, welcoming space for all adult cannabis lovers, from first-timers to seasoned pros. And they believe knowledge is power. That's why at MJ Dispensary, they're passionate about educating their customers on terpenes and cannabinoids and the wonders of this incredible plant. They'll even teach you how to spell cannabinoids. Plus, every purchase helps give back to the community through tax funding, donations, and outreach. So when you shop with MJ, you're doing good while feeling great. So why wait? Come experience cannabis the MJ way. MJ Dispensary, 900 Jefferson Road, Suite 902 in Henrietta. It's MJ Dispensary.